I'm gonna be honest. I wanted to marry Moss, and then you just kind of got involved.
What are you trying to say?
What do you wait? What I'm just telling you, like what I'm thinking.
I like the way that your glasses reflect the red off of the top of the can.
What?
Like your glasses.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Wait,
really
what the
cool.
fuck?
Really neat. It's like flashing.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You what?
So, some tea, right? Blaine County asked me on multiple occasions to be the lawyer for SK. I kept telling him no, it's not ethically good. And then even had me come in to be his lawyer at the bench trial. I went there to go watch it. They all agreed to let me be the lawyer. And then got mad that I won.
Yeah.
You can't make this up.
No way.
I swear to God, I don't like. I'm so
Use it against
like
you
this
now.
is boring now for me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm literally bored of this corruption.
What did they get mad at?
It's just that I was the lawyer.
That's it?
Yeah, and they're making up in their head why they lost, even though the judge was so clear. And I'm gonna tell you, I was like not ready. I had to speed run looking through the report. I had like 10 minutes to look at it, and I fuck with SK, but he's got ADHD and he kept saying like useless shit instead of giving me the information I needed. And I was just not prepared. Like, you know, like I did like the worst prosecution of my life. And I told SK, we're going to lose this probably. And we won. Because
really
I didn't even realize they never even explained how he's in a gang. It didn't even get to the point that this guy literally had no gun, GSR negative, and they literally found him in the passenger seat. Like, it's so... I don't know if I'm interested in trying to make things better when I'm working with garbage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
it's really funny that you won and they're like, no way.
Yeah, and then what makes it worse is they're telling other cops to press charges randomly without any backing, without any, like, here's how you articulate. That these masterminds literally don't even know what they're doing themselves, and they're affecting everyone else. It's so, like, it's sad, Tilly. Like, and I'm just exhausted. I'm exhausted being the bad guy with all these accusations based on God knows what, right? I mean, I had Bones tell me I'm just a criminal. Based on what, man? Right? So if you have these people that is so fucking incessant on being right, but they can't even explain why. You're not working on anything, working with anything other than fucking emotions.
I don't understand the whole criminal math thing. I don't understand.
I don't even know. I haven't
Where
even
that
done
even
anything.
comes from.
You can think that, right? But the thing is, what have you done to make this fucking city, like, better, right? Other than, like, jerk off your friends. And it boils my blood seeing Pred, who had so much and had so many people looking, like, towards him as a new chapter, and throwing it all away. Fucking him over and then fucking off. What do you do with that at that point? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm hoping the court case goes well for him and kind of go from there. I don't know. It's shitty.
Yeah, it's
shitty and, you don't deserve
it was angering because I can handle this pressure, right? It doesn't matter what you throw at me, I can handle it. Always have, always will. But it bothers me that I see people walking down the street and them seeing how it affects them, right? Like, why the fuck should anyone give a fuck about the feelings of law enforcement officers who are doing dumb shit that's illegal, that's vindictive, that is targeting, that is based on assumptions, speculations, stories made in their mind, when it has a greater effect on the everyday person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, look at what happened to you. No one gave a shit. I remember how depressed you were after the end of that court case. Right? And that's everybody. Right? Is like, there wasn't even any remorse or care that you, as somebody who is working in a department, literally got harassed nonstop, bullied out of the fucking department, and for what? But at least you had Slacks come to you and at least say something. I want you to keep that in.
Was people who weren't even involved with that, or like, because you can see what had happened through the, people who were new to the force were hee ha haing that I lost instead of understanding the full scope of what happened. They were so desperate to win. It's like
they lavished on your loss, and you can't tell me like I should have any respect and see them anything other than evil, dangerous people, right?
Yeah. It was the BCSO too. It wasn't the LSPD. They weren't even there. It was all the BCSO. They wanted to. That's what they wanted. That's what they lived for, was to see people at their worst, and so they can laugh at them and know that they,
Yeah. It's like taking having happiness towards. The problem is we're not dealing with like adult behavior, right? And that's where I keep coming back to it, is adults, when faced with new evidence, will often change their position. But that doesn't happen with this, right? And in fact, the opposite takes place, where heels get dug in, and cognitive dissonance takes over. That's like when in your brain, cognitive dissonance is like when you when humans make up excuses for themselves to rationalize their decisions, right? And so I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't think that's what that means.
Cognitive dissonance?
Mm-hmm.
It is. What do you think it means?
That's when, maybe just saying that. I thought that's when people hold multiple beliefs in something.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that too.
Okay.
Cognitive dissonance is like when you think it's up and down at the same time, but you are leaning towards up when, like, it's like, they're both other thing. You know what I mean?
Okay. It's like, yeah, I see what you're saying. I agree. They, I don't know. What?
So I just kind of feel like there's no going forward, right? Because at the end of the day, like, look at Pred. They got what they wanted, right? They took all his power away and are okay with that, right? I told Maxwell this is that if you're getting so much kickback from the Hydra raid, and you guys do not have the resources or the ability, and you have the chief of police having to act as the prosecutor, right? Just drop the case. Take that small L and turn it into a fucking W by being like taking accountability. I mean, they have to at least recognize to a degree. Did they act according to the law originally? Right? They see a weapon go in, Did oddities happen? Yes, I don't know if you're aware. Like, things weren't... Den fell through the fucking floor and all this shit happened, right? Like, a lot of things happened that probably shouldn't. But even if they had a case, the case got tainted the moment that people involved in the situation, instead of assisting, literally went and ruined the case. You cannot... I actually do not know how they can... that case is filled with... Look, Den showed off weapons. Should he have done that? No. But it's not just Den. You have your own law enforcement officers that interfered with it. You should just say it's tainted to drop the fucking case. Why die on that hill?
Yeah. I think that... I don't know. It's like these... I feel like these people enjoy the sufferment of others, and they would rather see someone suffer than to... you know, be able to admit loss. That's it. They just don't want to admit loss.
It really is. It's like everyone's just like fucking win or lose, this and that, and then come up with... It's like every situation is a win or lose. Everything. Conversations are win or lose. It's how I deal when I'm talking to the marshals. Like, you bring up something to them and their mind is like, I need to win this conversation. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Before they even know what's being brought up. You know what I mean? That's the feeling I get. Like when I go and talk to Dark and I brought up my concerns of what I'm watching marshals do, he was already on this, I need to win this argument rather than have a conversation. So, and like we were talking about Spade. I'm not going to go too much into it. Maxwell shared it. Is Spade was mad that I defended SK when she should know or ask or know that they literally made me do it. I didn't even want to be the fucking guy, you know?
Want the good news or the bad news?
The good news or the bad news? It's the same.
Really,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think there's any good news, to be honest.
They lost the suspect and there's no evidence that they were related to a gang-related shooting.
No.
They
He's
all
in
got moved to
ICU.
What?
ICU. Yeah.
What happened?
He attacked officers, and I'm pretty sure they only punched him, though. I haven't looked at the doctor report, but I could hear fists swinging when I was in the room talking to Peach.
I'm missing I don't even know why we're here. Keep in mind.
So the 95 from the 24/7, they're processing him, and he attacked the officers when they were trying to get
put
his
him into custody.
possessions.
Yeah.
Right. And now he's in ICU, so now we're trying to move him to the infirmary, that he's not just sitting in ICU for the next God knows when, wakes up and runs the fuck out like people like to do. So I don't think there's anything in writing stating we can move him to the infirmary. So I just call the judge, and she's going to let me know if we could do that.
What's the difference between the ICU and the infirmary?
Well, we're putting him straight to prison without, like, we're not charging him yet. However, he's technically in the prison, right? But he needs to be in a secured place because he is detained. Well, he's actually under arrest and being charged with robbery and kidnapping.
I understand it is, and I don't know if things have changed, is in the past, if someone is in ICU, and I don't think this exists now, is that they are in custody in ICU.
That's what I thought too.
But I think people will nobody will know who they are, and then they just get out, and that's it.
I agree with you there.
That happens.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, which is why there used to be a doctor here where you admit them into police custody. So
yeah.
I should like the fuck?
I don't know.
Random wild Buddha, Lang Buddha appears. I would let the doctor know exactly what you think should be happening.
Well, she's about to call future Hendrix because he's on the fucking contact list. That's what the fuck I'm dealing with in there.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is
Mm-hmm.
that you should let the local
Mhm.
doctor know that he's
Mhm.
in police custody and that
Right.
when he wakes up, he needs to make contact with
Yeah.
one of these officers. Otherwise, he's probably going to be in there for a while. Because
Yeah.
while
I'll
I
do
understand some
that.
people
Yeah.
may, I don't know,
Mhm.
feel like they're dodging something going into ICU, that
Mhm.
isn't probably. I would be afraid if I did that.
Yes.
You
No,
get what I'm
yes,
saying? So, and
I
if they do,
do.
that's not on you, right?
No, I know that. And the only thing is I remember somebody saying that when somebody goes to ICU that they are processing, they send them to the infirmary because this way they're in a secure, which I just talked to DOC, the sergeant there, and he said he believes that's what they've dealt with in the past as well. And I just talked to Judge Devereaux, who was a doctor. To her knowledge, that was something they've done too, but
Which is
she's
send
not
him to the
sure.
hospital?
No, to send them to the infirmary, transport them to the infirmary. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing set in stone. Like, I would rather just talk to the
That's a
doctor and say, hey,
high
this is what
command
he's
and
got to
a
stay here.
justice
Yeah.
thing, to be honest.
No, it is. And I'm not trying to fuck up, but I want to make sure that the
Yeah.
doctor, like, she's about to call future Hendrix. Okay. I'm over here like, he's in custody. He doesn't get a phone call. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we don't need visitors. He's in custody. People in custody don't get visitors unless he's actually dying, right? Like, that's different. If he's dead, I don't know.
I thought they call
They
their
are.
emergency
feel.
contacts.
Yeah, they
I don't know how I
are.
feel. I need to know what I'm supposed to be doing with him, right? If he's supposed to be there, okay. If he's supposed to be here, then maybe sure, it's fine. But he
Don't you
can't.
guys have an ability to contact high command when they're not around?
Yeah, but I just figured I'd call a judge because she's around.
Yeah, but how are these baby judges gonna know?
Right. Well, that's why she said she's got to find out, and I'm like,
Oh,
this
Ava's
is
not gonna
awful.
know this.
She used to be a doctor, so she's dealt with people in ICU. That's why I thought she'd be a good one to call.
Yeah, I would, if I were you, that
Yeah,
you ask
I'm
your
gonna
high
reach out
command to
to-
give you an answer, so that they give you a collective answer on what it should be. And then probably put a notice out to all of, police officers so that if they come into this problem in the future, they know how to handle it. I mean, yeah, the reason why Nino believes it's a high command thing is because even though people know that in 2.0 or 3.0, maybe in the beginning of 4.0, certain things happened, the fact of the matter is these guys are building off the back of a old
Hey, Jack.
broken police department, right, that probably didn't communicate these things, otherwise it'd be accessible and available information.
Okay.
Right?
Send me the notes.
And what
I didn't think
might
you
be
did.
true,
Yeah,
just because
Jack,
someone
part
thinks
of being an
something's
FTO
true
is doing the
9 months
FTO
ago
report.
doesn't mean
Well,
it's
if you
true
actually want to
today.
be an FTO, you got to send me a couple sentences about what he did, what you guys did, and then what he can improve on, so the next FTO knows what to work on. You can literally email it to me, and then I slap it in there. That's what we do until you have the cert. Thank you. Okay, bye. All right, I emailed the chief. I don't. Why do I always get the?
Why? Because you're the only one that does work.
Hey, Peach.
Welcome to the life of leader, Maxwell.
I'm in the emergency lane, waiting for this judge, and I emailed the chief. Yeah. The problem with that is we need the possessions back. We can't just write a warrant. I need the possessions. If he goes and gets his possessions out of ICU, then we don't have the gun because it's in his fucking bag zipped up, right? Because somebody dropped it in there. Right. So need that. But yes, we can tell. Yeah, let me just get the final word, but we're probably just going to ask the doctors to let the doctors know that he is in police custody and he cannot be released without reaching out to you, Monroe, Jeb, or myself. Like, they need to reach out to us and he is not to be released until we are made aware that he's ready to be released. Does that make sense? Because he's in custody. He's cuffed to the bed, right? So nobody can uncuff him but an officer. So he shouldn't be running out of anywhere when he gets his tubes pulled out of his throat. If he even has them, I don't know.
Man, I want to help with PD so bad today. Like, that's my energy right now.
Wait, a fat L for what?
Call up Brian Knight. Have him start working on a thing on the side.
It is just an
train up a future
I'm not as worried about
PD.
the gun as
Don't
like,
even.
I'm not even worried
Not
about
even.
It
shouldn't even
I
be.
just want to know what the
that
fuck we're supposed
thing
to do.
works
so the
on
next
any
time I can
arrests.
say, this is what we're doing.
Doesn't
right?
train anyone that exists. Just you
Because then
start
it's in the
building it up
SOPs.
on the
This is what
side.
you do, and then we can tell everybody, and then they know what to do. So we're not
And then
sitting
launch
around
and
twiddling
have it
our
ready
thumbs
for
trying to figure
5-0,
out
so
what
there's
we're supposed
RP
to do.
behind it too.
You know what I mean?
So it makes sense.
Like,
I mean, honestly, that's my energy right now, to be honest. Like, probably not going to happen, but
why not just tell the doctors?
that's
kind
kind of where my energy's at. I just want
we've had people do that
PD
before, right?
to be immersive and not like it's just so it's so taxing, man. Like it's so taxing.
Well, I was talking to Nino, and that's what he even thought too. That's how it used to be. They got to come turn themselves.
Yeah,
in.
I would say you almost need.
I got a judge. She's got an answer. Okay, bye.
Oh.
Each just wants to write. She's so funny. Just wants to write a warrant.
I would say that.
Hey, Deborah.
That's kind of my energy, man. It's very exhausting just even hearing what is happening, and I know people want better.
We're still at the hospital.
I know members of the PD want better, but man, it's just I don't know. That's the energy I'm on. You know what I mean? I'm a big. I love playing on NoPixel.
Okay.
I vibe with this community more than anything else. At the end of the day, it's probably why I spend so much energy on Nino.
What's wrong with doing a warrant?
And I know we can do it right.
Okay.
Yo, Mopar, thank you for the gifted sub,
Okay.
man.
So you're saying we could either take him to the infirmary or leave him here.
So I don't know. That's kind of where my energy oft comes from. Is
I shouldn't be. Okay.
yeah, like even though there's less people playing, I still enjoy playing on NoPixel because despite all the stuff that happens at a high level, I'm always still very immersed with the individuality of the characters.
Right. At the prison. Okay.
No, hell no.
Okay.
No, dude, I'm not gonna do that. Chat.
Okay.
PD's cooked. Brian Knight's not gonna uncook this
All right,
problem.
it does. Thank you so much.
This is like you have to build it
Thank
up
you.
type
Okay,
shit.
bye.
It's cooked.
She said it's up to us. We want to bring him to the infirmary or leave him here. It's case by case basis. I'm gonna let them know.
Really?
I'll let them decide. That's what
Oh.
she said.
feel like that's a problem with the PD too. I think they're a little too hands-on.
What does that mean?
Make sure that the doctor doesn't call the friend who I don't even know what the friend has to do with them, but like, let's make sure that that doesn't happen. Then we gotta bring them to the infirmary to make sure that they get discharged. We can't do anything but do that, and we gotta make sure that they 100% get charged, and nobody can come here, and nobody can get called.
You know what's so funny? I agree
What?
completely.
You really? Or you? Just
Yeah, no, I genuinely agree completely with you. I think why does it matter?
Yeah, that's my whole thing. I don't know
Did he
why
murder
this whole thing
somebody?
got so hot.
Did he murder someone? Why? Who are the fucking people that are making them feel like it's the end of the world if someone who barely did anything that's like atypical, like you fucking punched like,
Yeah,
bro,
it's really
like,
not that.
what happens if you like don't give a shit?
We gotta make sure that this guy gets charged and gets arrested and bring
It's
him to the
so
prison
bad.
So he can't get out of the charge.
That's why I don't think it's recoverable, because Maxwell, I genuinely believe, is an amazing like command member. She gives her opinion. She can stand on her fucking, on her own. She's got what it takes to be a good leader, but she's tainted by some like fucking, like, God knows what it is. This like she's gonna like, they're all scared not to go 10 out, like full blown energy on putting someone on jail, because I feel like they're afraid that they're gonna lose their job or something's gonna happen to them. When the reality is that you don't like it. It's not needed.
I like Haley, but she definitely has her own issues too.
Yeah, but Tilly, literally everyone. Like, let me give you a little. Okay, don't take this the wrong way, right? I'm giving you perspective. In our cabinet, everyone has their own issues. I have my own issues. You have your own issues. No, there's literally no such thing as like everyone's good at everything. That's why you build a team that has different skill sets and you give them, you know what I mean?
She will struggle with building that team. That's her biggest problem. Her biggest problem is she is way too suspect on people. Way too suspect on people.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, right, when I used to work as a receptionist, okay. She thought that I was doing some sneaky shit. She thought I was doing some sneaky.
So,
but, like, that's the problem, is I'm in the police department, and having somebody who is high command to me thinking that I'm being deceptive when I'm not is not good. It's very toxic. Why the fuck would I want to work under a command that thinks that I'm lying to them? That's weird. That's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, but she's affected by the culture. She's not responsible for the culture of the police department.
I'm not saying that she can't be fixed. I just think it's something that she needs to work on.
See, that's why I'm the mayor. I recognize that there are bigger problems than what you just brought up.
Like what? What do you mean that's one of the biggest fucking problems in the police department right now?
Because you are trying to fix a cultural problem through a singular individual. Which is not practical at all. In the same vein that the energy of this guy's got to go to jail when presented with this, like, why waste? Like, who cares, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Sure. I just won't say anything to you, because I say stuff to you, and then my opinion
I don't
is
give a shit. I don't give a shit, Tilly.
What do you mean?
Because if you feel that way, your personal feelings are irrelevant to me as the mayor that has to look at the bigger picture here. And I'm not going to simply, like, I'm giving you why I don't consider it. And if that makes you feel a certain way, that's a you problem, not a.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, if you feel like you don't want to share anything because I'm not agreeing with this opinion of yours, it doesn't bother me.
I'm not asking you to agree with
Yeah.
my opinion, but you're just telling me that I'm wrong.
You are, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's my job. I have to assess other people's opinions and make a decision on whether I'm going to agree with them or not. If I agreed with you, sure, but I don't agree with it. And
Yeah,
if that's going to make you not want to share your opinions, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, we'll see.
Drink this fucking coffee. Reminds me of my fucking conversation with Forte. Yo, this is good. Yo, I can feel the temperature already rising right now. I can feel the temperature rising. I feel like you want to be the Siobhan to my Max. It's not going to happen.
What do you mean?
Max is, from everything that I observed before and at the end of, towards the end when he called to apologize to me, he used to hear one person's fucking opinion and then act on it. Should know that about me by now.
Oh, well, yeah. I wasn't asking you to act on my opinion.
You're holding your when you tell me that you're just gonna not share anything with me because I don't agree with you. You're trying to, you know.
There was nothing to act on. There was nothing to act on what you were saying. Like, what was there to act on? It literally was nothing. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, what am I trying to get you to change your mind on?
I get what you think about Maxwell, but given the context of this conversation about me explaining some things and you talk like about PD and whatever, and why they're not whatever, right? I just don't think it's, I just don't think that it's valuable to look at the micro aspect of it of Maxwell's got faults. You know what I mean? I don't want to entertain that conversation given how much is already on a plate.
Okay.
What is the response you expect from someone like me?
I don't expect anything. I don't know what.
Are you not offended?
Offended about what?
Well, when you say you're not going to share your opinions anymore, that's a sign that you're offended. How you doing, Maxwell? Good to see you again.
Yeah.